Welcome back to my channel, and let's talk about one of the watches, Azazel, and let's try to understand him a little bit deeper, what he's all about. And to understand Azazel, we will go back to the Garden of Eden and understand what happened there. As you all know, in the Garden of Eden, there were two trees. One was the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and the other was the tree of life. This is a little bit maybe deceptive. Surely the one who used the tree of life want to end life and return to the creator, return to the source or the light, and thus end the reincarnation circle. Therefore, the tree of life should really be the tree of death. But let's talk about the Garden of Eden incident. If we talk about that incident, then it's better to have the terms as we used to use them. Tree of knowledge and the tree of death is the tree that Eve was tempted to eat of. And then the famous fall happened. And Azazel has stated that he was the one who tempted Eve to take the fruit. He was the serpent. So what's going on here? The tree of life, if you use the tree of life as a method, thus you want to return to the source or end the reincarnation circle. You want to go up and be one with the light. When you use this method, there is a huge, can be a struggle to push forward. You can end up in a situation where you are very close to the light, you feel the light, you bathe in the light. In this state, you feel like you have achieved everything there is. You stop push yourself forward and start to believe that this is all there is. You become stuck in a high spiritual state. You bathe in the light, you feel close to the creator, you feel the light. If you don't understand that you are only halfway to the source, to the creator, then you are stuck there. This is only if you use this method, the tree of life, in order to end reincarnation circle and be one with the creator. This is a trap you can end up in here. Well, the Garden of Eden was a very high state of spiritual awareness or beingness, very close to the light. If that's the only thing you know, you might believe that the Garden of Eden is it. You stop struggle, you stop use method to transform or to go forward to the creator. If you haven't experienced anything else, you believe that this is it. And the only way to convince this people, this Adam and Eve, that they are not even close, a fall has to happen. They have to feel the difference. In other words, they have to start all over again. Nothing happens in the Garden of Eden. This is the problem, and the Watchers and Azazel and Lucifer want you to push forward, to transform. They are only interested in evolution and transformation. That is the reason why they are considered chaos. Because transformation, evolution is chaos. Because it's change. When something changes in our environment, when we have to move, when something happens, we see it as chaos, turbulence. The ground shakes. We are insecure. What's happening? What are we going? This is a necessity for us to keep on going forward. If we choose, then humans want security, a very stale and static way of living. Same work, same town, same family, nothing happens. Azazel tempted Eve because he saw they were stuck in this so-called paradise. And surely it might be a paradise, but nonetheless nothing happened in this paradise. And they weren't even close to the light. They have to fall and go back again if they had to understand this polarity. They have to understand that they weren't even close, that nothing happened there. Therefore Azazel tempted Eve, and Eve took the fruit, and a fall to the material world happened. Now, of course, you can say this is evil. If you are a Gnostic Christian, you say the material world is an evil place, a prison, and your soul are pure, and you go back to the source, to the light. But you can also see it as a necessity for transformation, evolution. Therefore, we had to go into the dark, into matter. Fall needed to happen. The cliphotic tree, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, has to happen. It was a necessity. Otherwise, humanity would be stuck in Garden of Eden. These two trees has to exist. One tree can make you indifferent or feel like you are close to the Creator when you are not. You feel great. You feel this light. You feel this force. And believe me, I have friends who have been there. I have been there. And it's very dangerous. If you take drugs, you can end up in a state where you doesn't want to wake up from. Or you want to be in that state forever. But that's a very dangerous idea. The tree of Clifford, the tree of knowledge, can be a dangerous path if you haven't the right mental attitude or willpower or wisdom. This is two different methods. And I think you can use both. Let's say Let's make an example. You're a very rich person, but you're a materialist and you're an atheist. You have your pool, a lot of money, good looking ladies, good work. This is the perfect life for you. This is a person who can say he had a good life if he is satisfied with his situation. But nothing will happen there. If he doesn't transform or nothing happens to him, shaking him up, awakens him, then this will be a good life, but a wasted life. And from an esoteric perspective, he haven't achieved anything. When he come back in the next reincarnation circle, he will be a random dude. And then it all starts again. In this case, it would be better for this man to lose his property, lose his money, and the lady would say bye-bye and be on their way. Then chaos would come into this person's life, and maybe he would find a more real life, authentic life, a more purposeful life. But he wouldn't feel like that when all this happens, of course. He would feel it like the tower is shaking, the tower is falling, chaos, desperation. He would be in a very fearful state. But when everything is clear, then maybe he would think this was the best thing that could happen to me. And quite often, that is how people feel when it's all done and over. This is the reason why Azazel tempted Eve, because this fall was a necessity. But you can say that Azazel tempted Eve for evil purposes. You can blame everything on Azazel because he is the scapegoat. You can blame all human weakness on Azazel if you want to. Our fears, our struggle for power, money, on Azazel, if you want to. And he came with a lot of gifts to humanity, like weapons, makeup. And when we're talking about weapons, humans tend to think weapons in physical form and material form. You can kill another human being with it, you can wage war with it. But that's not the purpose. The purpose is when you start to use the cliphotic tree on your journey, on your metaphysical journey, you will need metaphysical weapon with you. This is a fight, this is a struggle. You need your armory, you need your weapons of war. Now I'm not talking about silly wars in the material world, but real wars, where the real battles taking place in the metaphysical. Azazel gave you the metaphysical weapons you need in order for you to transform and to fight. But of course, humans didn't take long before humans invented wars in material form. And you can blame that on Azazel, the scapegoat, if you want to. But it was humans who invented the weapons in physical form from a metaphysical necessity. And this journey is a harsh journey. You need your weapons, and they exist in the metaphysical world. And you will find some of them. But it always seems that the metaphysical always take a material form outside of us. Everything we can do in the metaphysical, in spirit, we seem to manifest in the material world. But it is not the opposite around. Azazel's sigil is the same sigil as Saturn's. But this is not real Azazel's sigil. This is more of Saturn's sigil. But Azazel is trapped in Saturn, one of Saturn's moons, Mimas. So he is attributed to Saturn, you can say. But this is not his real sigil. Rather, this is Saturn's sigil. But you can use it to get in contact with Azazel nonetheless. But I suggest that you use his real sigil if you want to communicate with him. But you can use this one. Well, let's move forward in history. There was a time on this earth where there were many different humanoids, not only Homo sapiens, not only humans. And there were a war between these humanoid races over resources. Food was scarce, and when you struggle for food and survival, then war will break out. It's a matter of surviving, evolution, what race will survive, who will thrive and who will die. Now you need weapons, physical weapons, if you want to win this war. And of course this is a travesty, but it's a matter of survival. Now you need your weapons to fight against giants, other humanoid races. And you can say war is a horrible thing, yes, but if you want to survive, you fight. And you can blame Azazel for your survival because he gave you weapons. Metaphysical, but now they have become material through you. And you can say it was Azazel's fault for us to survive and be able to defend and fight. Because Azazel is the scapegoat. And you can blame him if you want to. If he goes further in recent history, we can see when we have killed all the enemies, or maybe they're still around, some of them, who knows, can speculate about it. But in recent history we haven't had any real enemies. Therefore the human race started to wage war against ourselves, kill our own kind. That ain't nice. To listen to the politicians who want to stir up wars for their own money and power. And people use weapons of war. And you can blame Azazel for that if you want to, because he gave us weapons, metaphysical weapons, who have taken a material form later on in order for us to fight for survival against other humanoid races, and now killing each other. And you can blame Azazel, the scapegoat, for that if you want to. But the truth is, it is us who pull the trigger. It is us, we, the human race, who have chosen to use weapons in this way. Azazel have never told you to kill your neighbor with weapons. We are the great destroyers. This is what we have chosen to become. But you can blame Azazel if you want. Because it is much easier to have someone outside of you to blame instead of looking inside yourself. And we can see this in today's madness. It is always someone else's fault. You have given all the power away to others instead of going inside yourself, transform, and start to think about your part in it all. And it is only your part, and it is only your fault, and you are the only one who can transform and change. Nothing will happen outside of you. Because you are a warrior now, and you should forge your metaphysical weapon. And this is a real battle. All the madness happening today is humanity's refusal to accept their own part in it. And that is the only part. Azazel gave you weapons. We should use it. I hope some questions have been answered, and I hope you understand Azazel a little bit better. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and have a great day, and take care.